Today, a new LFL team will add its name to the list by winning the 7th EMEA Masters title. Welcome everyone to EMEA Masters Finals live from the Olympiahalle in Munich, Germany. I'm your host, Ginny, joined on the desk with GB, Jake, as well as our special guest, Tolkin. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Let's have a conversation straight away about EMEA Masters.
I love conversations.
You know what? Everybody's excited, okay? Everybody wants to listen to what we have to say. But let's start off with the format of EMEA Masters, the changes we have. We have a lower bracket, a best of series. How are we feeling about those?
I mean, much better. There's more teams playing, which is good for us, because my team was also allowed to participate, since there was more teams playing. And then we have Swiss stage, we have more best of fives, more series in general. I think everyone who loves League just loves to watch the game.
How much better was it, right? Like, the format changed, more games played earlier. BO5s as well, I think, was the biggest takeaway. We got to those BO16s, top 16s. Straight away from the BO5s, you have a higher experience getting towards this final stage here.
Yeah, and I think in general, just the inclusion of more teams is what people really want. You want to be able to invest into these leagues, so the fact that more seeds can then actually go in and play the bigger tournament, that's a big win.
You have more teams, and then automatically means you also have more players, and this is really the proving grounds for these players to show what they're capable of. So when we're looking at individuals, who was the one that really stood out to you, Jake?
I mean, for me, I like Bukata. Didn't obviously make it to the grand final. Any of the other French fans will know out there, this Shyvana, not OTP, but Shyvana pocket pick. I'm standing next to the Shyvana guy right here as well. And I'm not saying that because GB's next to me, but I'm saying it because, again, I think Bukata had a lot of style in this tournament. He showed us a lot of flair, and he gets an honourable shout out because he didn't make it here, but he left a lasting impression on me that I hopefully see him on the biggest stage one day too.
I mean, I think for me the biggest newcomer perhaps even is Paris, because I mean, you know, back when I was playing EU Masters Finals as well, this guy was not there yet. He's a younger player. I'm not really familiar with him, but then I watched his games. And what I found astounding, usually teams that play from it, and BDS is always ahead in early game, if they have a Hextech soul and their supports know what they're doing, you can suffocate the vision because they keep on resetting, keep on putting wards, and it's unplayable. And I think he's doing this much better, especially on Hextech Drake, than anyone else. And that's something newer supports technically or usually don't do.
You know, my favorite part about him as well was that I think he was the best engaged support in the tournament. This dude was one of the best Rels I've seen, even in competitive play. He plays it at a top level.
Yeah, he does.
But I think in general, it's also just the fact that he pairs up with Scuman. And Scuman's one of the guys I got my eyes on as well, because he's been a menace in the jungle. I mean, it is easy when you have a guy like Paros who enables you as well as he does, and the power lanes that you just get in general on BDS. But they are just a dynamic duo that runs the map, and they are extremely dangerous to play against.
And they also happen to be from the LFL region, and that is a region that has been so dominant as well in terms of their performances here at EMEA Masters, but also when it comes to promoting their players, which brings to question in terms of where did that dominance come from?
I mean, good question. I mean, in spring, the Prime League won, right? So Eintracht Spandau, unfortunately not here, I guess, but we have 3 German players.
Good job.
I mean, come again?
I said good job. You're bringing up Prime League straight away.
I mean, no. I mean, since you said LFL is playing well, which they are, but they're technically a Swiss team, right, BDS, and I think that's kind of important to them as well. And they have 3 German guys, but as you guys said, especially Scuman, who's obviously a French player, as well as Paros, those guys, I think they could be in LEC, them together as a jungle mid, as support duo. They are probably better than some LEC duos. I mean, I don't know if you guys would tend to agree.
Spicy
We're not going to name drop anything. We're not name dropping anything.
I was just saying, and yeah, I mean, obviously I'm a bit biased towards the boys because Rika is an ex-teammate of mine, back from 2019 or something. And I think especially Rika, he's like a kind of guy who, if he didn't go to LEC so early in his career, it would have been better. You know, give him more experience playing EMEA Master stage, and then it's probably better for his career in the long shot.
You know, 5 teams made it to quarters, just to interrupt there, Ginny. 5 teams made it to quarters as well, by the way. That depth of talent you're talking about, that's kind of insane. Like, that conversation goes on forever.
Yeah, let's highlight that even further by looking at the bracket particularly and how exactly we got here, because you're talking about 5 LFL teams making it to those quarters, but I mean, at the end of the day, there's only 2 left. So thank you so much, Jake and Tolkin, for joining us. But
My pleasure.
I'm going to have to throw this one to you in regards to these finals, in regards to that dominance that we're seeing from one particular region.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I